gentleman from Texas, Mr. Barton, Chairman Emeritus of the full committee, for 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. It's good to have Senator D'Amato on the panel, and I see former Congressman John Porter out in the audience. It's good to have you here. Poker is the all-American game. President Richard Nixon financed his first congressional campaign partially with poker winnings from World War II. Our current president, President Obama, is reputed to be a very good poker player. I learned to play poker, believe it or not, in the Boy Scouts. So if you learn something in the Boy Scouts, it's got to be a good thing, right? Unfortunately, because there is some chance to it, while it is a game of skill, there are those that think we should not allow poker to be played for money on the Internet. Consequently, we passed a bill or law several years ago that's unenforceable, UGIA. It's a bad law regardless of which side of the debate that you are on. I have introduced a bill as the chief sponsor to remedy this, and two of my co-sponsors are Barney Frank and Ron Paul. I will postulate that if you've got a bill that Barney Frank, Joe Barton, and Ron Paul are all for, who can be against it? I mean, we have covered the spectrum. You can't see this in the audience, but this is a photocopy of a registration from yesterday. A person who is in the audience today signed up on bodog.com to play poker for money. He deposited $50. He got a $5 bonus for making the deposit, and he got a solicitation that if he could get more people to sign up too, he could get an additional, I believe, $200 in poker chips. People are playing poker on the Internet in the United States for money today. We think as many as 8 million players per month play poker for money online in the United States per day or per month. Having said that, it's not regulated, and so these sites are offshore, overseas, and consequently outside the ability for us to tax the winnings, to regulate, to make sure that it is a fair game and everybody has an equal chance to win based on their skill. The legislation that I've introduced, H.R. 2366, is not perfect, but it would remedy most of the major problems we face today. I want to thank Chairwoman Bono Mack for having this hearing. I want to thank the ranking member, Mr. Butterfield, for what he said in his opening statement. I think we should have a robust debate. Perhaps there should even be an additional hearing. But at some point in time in this Congress, I hope we can move 2366 or something similar to it, Madam Chairwoman, to let everybody in America who wishes to play poker in states that allow it to do so. In the bill that I've introduced, it's a state option. If the governor of a state says there shall be no Internet poker played by residents of that state, it does not happen. So we are not preempting the states, but in the states that thinks it's okay, we set up a regulatory scheme and a taxation scheme so that we have a fair game and everybody has an equal chance, and future President Nixon's and Obama's can play on the Internet for money and use those earnings to join us. With that, Madam Chairwoman Mack, I yield back the balance of my time.
I thank you, Mr. Barton, and the Chair now recognizes Mr. Guthrie of Kentucky for 2 minutes.
Thank you for